This is a country that is very interested in its history. It's a very politicised country. It's a country that is very knowledgeable about its history and is often very hungry for more information.
Psychology is about the way in which people behave and how people think and reason and understand the world. And I think that is something that's fundamentally of interest to almost everybody, regardless of their age or their background.
Linguistics is the scientific study of language. So language is all-pervasive in our lives, and people have opinions and ideas about it. In linguistics, we approach it in a far more systematic way, and we address questions such as how do children acquire language? Why do only humans acquire language? What are the sounds used in language? What are the units of words used in language? How does language interact with the way we think? So a whole range of issues are covered in linguistics. So because language is so much a part of everything we do, there's an aspect of linguistics that looks at pretty much everything we do.
I think if you want to understand the society that you live in, you have to understand how that society evolved. You can't really get a grasp on contemporary society unless you understand where it comes from.
Some choose to do arts because they really want to, so they're interested in particular subjects in arts like English, history, economics, sociology, these large subjects. Other people do arts in UCD because they feel that they're not ready yet to make a decision about what kind of career they want, and they realise that the education they get through arts will allow them to make better decisions about their career in a couple of years' time.
For people trying to decide whether or not to study history, they have to ask themselves what exactly they want out of an education, what exactly they want out of the society that they live in as well. Do they want to understand it more deeply? Do they want to be able to analyse it? Have they got a broad enough mind to come in and absorb all sorts of different aspects of history?
Psychology in UCD offers a very broad training. So we have people on a staff who are doing research across a whole variety of different fields, which allows students then the opportunity to work with people doing everything from social psychology to statistics, research methods, and also biological psychology, which involves the study of the brain, how the brain works, and within that neuropsychology. That is an area of growing interest as we begin to understand more about the brain and how differences in brain functioning influence our behaviour and our thinking and our emotions and so on.
In many respects, the archive in UCD is the archive of the foundation of the state. An awful lot of the key architects of modern Ireland, of 20th century Ireland, their papers, their personal papers are in UCD. People like William Cosgrave, like Eamon de Valera, people who played a very crucial role in the evolution of 20th century Ireland.
What attracted me to psychology was the fact that I would understand more about children and their development. Children are vulnerable and they need to be cared for, they need to be looked after, and they need to be respected. And I think psychology helps us to understand what children's needs are, and therefore it can give us some guidance as to how best to meet those needs.
The point about an arts degree is the skills you have in doing arts are the kind of skills that any employer would want. Critical thinking, ability to solve problems, ability to work in a team, numeracy, literacy.
If you look at where history can take you, it can really take you anywhere. If you look at a Supreme Court judge, the presenter of The Late Late Show, a best-selling novelist, what do they all have in common? They all studied history at UCD.